I'd like to test some fan reactions. Which is better for you, guest star number 1? Or guest star number 2? Cameo number 1? And cameo number 2. Jeezy Pete's, guys. He didn't even have a speaking role.
Come and knock on our door.
Come and knock on our door.
We've been waiting for you.
We've been waiting for you.
Where the kisses are
Hers and his. Three's company too.
We begin with an elimination round, as Fluttershy reveals that she'll be absent for most of this episode.
The Equestrian Society for the Preservation of Rare Creatures have given me permission to observe the rarest, tiniest, most adorable magical creatures in all of Equestria. The Breezies!
One of the biggest complaints for this season is how all 6 ponies are carried into events where they don't necessarily have an impact. And I think this episode takes the right step in giving the ponies reasons to be absent. It's just a shame that we'll never see how Fluttershy's trip went. We then enter a phase where the humor is very hit or miss. Going over each joke would likely fill an entire video, so I'm going to generalize. Subtlety wins the day here. The jokes that made me laugh were actually very subdued, except for Pinky's farewell to Fluttershy. Stuff like Pinky's need for Ritalin, however, was to "look at me, I'm funny" to earn my laugh. Oh well, no time for that. We've got a returning character to greet. With the most annoying entrance ever! I take it back. I want one. Presenting the Hippogriff Ambassador and 19-something-2 burping battle champion, Silver-Quill! Note to self, start a Patreon account so I can afford an actual trumpet band. Yes, it's the return of Princess Cadence, and I won't lie to you guys, I'm not a huge fan. It's not that I think Cadence is a bad character. She's had plenty of triumphant moments, some funny scenes, and a gorgeous singing voice. My main issue is that none of these events have a lasting impact on her character. Even with 6 episodes where she's been a large feature, Cadence is still presented as a perfect princess who suffers no internal conflict. By contrast, we've had supporting characters who only appeared briefly and yet established much more diverse personalities by being fallible. Cadence isn't a bad character. She's a character who hasn't been allowed to grow. We also see, oh my gosh, a crystal Pegasus! They do exist. There's Flash Sentry. Comparing this cameo to Rainbow Falls, I realized just how well Zwoohipers was used. If I didn't know a thing about this show or this character, I would still get the point that she's a poor substitute for Rainbow Dash. Flash's appearance doesn't work so well. Had I not seen Equestria Girls, I'd have nothing but questions. Who is this pony? Why does he have different armor? Why isn't he Crystal too? And what's with that look? It only lasts for a moment, yet I'm taken out of the flow. Well, I've certainly been talking about characters that people either love, hate, or love to hate. Let's bring in a character that 90% of the fandom, including me, seems to gush over. The return of Discord, who's feeling a little blue. And we're treated to some additional humor as the main 4 make it clear that they're not thrilled to see him. And why shouldn't they? Last time he nearly got them all killed while treating it as entertainment. Fluttershy may be the only pony willing to show Discord friendship, yet he's hardly reaching across the aisle here. In fact, he keeps referring to friendship as more of an obligation and a guilt trip than a bond.
Isn't that what friends are for? Taking care of each other. Let the healing begin.
I'm pretty sure that John Delancey could read a shopping list and I'd be entertained. He is the Chuck Norris of voice actors. 1 cough equals a roundhouse kick. One of the best things about trickster personas is that you're never sure if they're being honest. He might have the flu, or this might be a deception. Unfortunately, as he eliminates the main 4 from the story and all but twirls a mustache, it's clear that this is a ruse and he's here to mess with Twilight and Cadence. And mess away he does, as we have...
A little glass of water, please. A fresh pressed hanky if I sneeze.
John Delancey singing
Whenever you can brew it.
from My Little Pony.
My goodness, I'm a nincompoop because I fear I got the croup.
John Delancey
In soup and skulls made out of zinnias.
from My Little Pony.
And silk or something shiny of that ilk. And And then I'll need some nice warm milk.
Sure, it's not the series' best. Even Delancey himself says he's not a great singer.
Something yummy piled up with noodles.
Yet it's fun and energetic, and I enjoyed the pop culture references. You know, as someone who's not exactly subtle with references himself. Plus, there have been worse attempts at singing.
Rocket Man. Burning out his fuse out here, alone.
And we shall never speak of that again. Unless I think it would be funny, in which case, just try and stop me. The real highlight here is how Twilight is forced to play along. And I want to stress that it's Twilight I'm watching. Going into this, I was concerned that Cadence would be so beatific that she'd forgive Discord over and over. It was good to see her acting suspicious and even hiding behind her wings. Unfortunately, Discord and Cadence's interaction is very limited because Discord is focusing on Twilight, as he has from his first appearance. He may be pen pals with Fluttershy, yet Discord is fixated upon Twilight, likely because she's a very powerful being and a pupil of his greatest rival. Speaking of key players, they actually touch on Twilight being a princess again. Cadence's teasing about the royal greetings brought the issue back into the forefront, and I was grateful for this, though I still raise an eyebrow at how, oh shoot, I didn't design this character with eyebrows. Hang on, I want to do this proper. I still raise my glorious eyebrows at how two royals can attend an exhibit without any pony turning to look. Yet the fact that they at least touched on this really tempers my reaction. It feels like the writers are finding the balancing point between forgetting that Twilight is a princess and playing a princess here before us every time she goes out to get the mail. And the concept doesn't stop there. After Discord's deception is revealed and Twilight is ticked off at nearly being eaten by a sandworm from Beetlejuice? Or Dune? Well, she's got a right to be cheesed, and yet Discord actually throws her rank back in her face again.
Now that she's a princess, maybe she's decided that she's too good for you.
I have never considered myself too.
But how was I supposed to know?
Even though it was just a joke, Cadence reminds Twilight and the audience that being a leader can call for theatrics. Discord acts as a dark foil for Twilight by implying that her station will make her arrogant. This coming from a guy who was an arrogant, all-powerful tyrant. Before I villainize him too much, I want to point out that Discord was just as surprised as any pony by the Dune worm thingy. Yes, he tried to ruin Twilight's day with Cadence. Yes, he teased them to the edge of Equestria to fetch a fake cure, but I don't think that he intended for Twilight and Cadence to face an actual threat. This time he seems genuinely ignorant. He's powerful, not omniscient. If he were, you'd think he'd know how to dodge. Summarizing this episode feels weird because I can almost skip everything in the middle. Discord's hijinks are fun, and his and Twilight's characters are on full display, yet there's nothing really new to them. Cadence remains safely neutral, neither helping nor hurting the episode. I feel like it was a lost opportunity, and I'm pretty sure we'll never see her move beyond the fairy tale princess role. We do, however, get to see Cadence and Twilight taking full advantage of their alicorn status, which was a fun battle to watch. I still hope that Twilight's peers will have a chance to mentor her, yet this episode pitched the setup as a meeting of sisters-in-law, so I won't look for a lot of lessons this time. For some fans, this episode is pure fun. For others, it's the worst kind of filler. For me, it's a fun ride with some good elements, and is harmless overall. I'm Silver-Quill, and I just realized how introducing new creatures usually goes for me. Like clockwork, I swear. I am the Kwisatz Haderach. Good grief, that's hard to say.